Mm. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. I am the goddess of radical self-love, and this is MECA. Make everyone count always. We are a support network for radical self-love, self-care, and master manifesting. Our community here at MECA values and supports our community's most vulnerable, care receivers, and those who care for them, caregivers. When our community's most vulnerable and those who care for them feel valued and supported, the rest of us are assured we are valued and supported as well. Yes. Today is Self-Transcendence Thursday. Welcome, welcome. If you're new, thank you to all our new subscribers, our new family members, and thank you to all the love and support that you all give me, the ones who have stuck through and really been here. Thank you for your likes, comments, and shares, and donations. So, Self-Transformation Thursday. Self-Transcendence Thursday. We're not on Tuesday anymore. Thank goodness. Yes. So, self-transcendence. Transcending the self. How is that done? Well, in my belief, and several others, it is only through the self that we can transcend the self. Through loving the self, through accepting the self, through forgiving the self, through having full compassion for the self, through being our full potential, following, our dreams, goals, and desires, can we then put ourselves in another's shoes to fully love and accept them for who they are as a complete being, right? So, no matter who they are, makes no difference in the human aspect because the divine light is within us all. Self-transcendence. You will be able to see the light within all, no matter who they are, no matter what choices they make or how they speak, whether it's with love or anger, you know the truth. There's light within all, divine being within all. Self-transcendence. So we're going to start off with a friend. I really feel bad saying he's my boyfriend because of Maslow. I kind of feel like Maslow gets jealous. So I'm just going to stick with Maslow, and we're just going to call Neil Donald Welsh our friend from Meditations from Conversations with God. Yeah, I know. I'm strange. I got it. This is the goal of your soul. This is its purpose, to fully realize itself while in the body, to become the embodiment of all that it really is. Self-transcendence. See how that works? So we will be utilizing my boyfriend Maslow's work in towards a psychology of being, and we are on knowledge for growth reduction and for growth. Knowledge for anxiety reduction and for growth. Not growth reduction. So funny. Oh my gosh. I'm hilarious. So, now keep in mind to have an open mind and keep what resonates and let go of what doesn't, right? From every perspective, not just now. So, the reason we utilize Maslow's work is because, well, I love him, obviously. That's why. And he walks us through the inner, right? How to develop. And he teaches us how to satisfy our needs, right? Our motivational drive needs. And then goes beyond to the growth needs. So if we can utilize his information for ourselves in our daily lives, then we can go through the motivational factors of really the blockages of the motivational factors and remove them, work on them, see them. Because if you don't see them, then you have nothing to work on and you don't understand why things aren't changing in your life, right? So, it's a toolkit. Who doesn't need more tools? So, I know, honey. You have water right there. Knowledge for anxiety reduction and for growth. So far, I have been talking about the need to know for its own sake, for sheer delight and primitive satisfaction of knowledge and understanding per se. It makes the person bigger, wiser, richer, stronger, more evolved, more mature. It represents the actualization of a human potentiality, the fulfillment of that human destiny foreshadowed by human possibilities. We then have a parallel to the unobstructed blooming of a flower or to the singing of birds. This is the way in which an apple tree bears apples without striving or effort, simply as an expression of its own inherent nature. It's funny because my children have been having some arguments about education and student loans and things that the media has stirred up in them. And the deal is, no matter the cost, it's never too great for an education. So, that being said, with the change in our population that is approaching, we're going to need to figure out a way to have enough people educated in a field to take over positions of those who are leaving the industries. Every industry. Total collapse. So, there needs to be a way of reducing, if not completely canceling out, the cost of education at this time and place in our transition. You'll see. If we don't, you'll see that it's already happening, but There are not enough nurses in all of the medical industry. I'm only using this as an example because I know a bit about it, but it has happened in every industry. There are not enough students to replace those ones that are leaving. Okay, so you add up all the students that are in school today for a particular field. There are not enough of those students today to replace all the ones that are leaving within the next year, 2 years. So you see, what are we going to do? We're not going to have enough doctors and nurses, and no, they're all going to be gone. Not to mention our healthcare workers, right? That we're short 1 million workers. We have 10,000 people a day turning 65. I mean, sorry, I'll get back to this, but talk about self-transcendence. I mean, like, as an entire world right now, because this is the population turnover is a world issue. But this country needs to wake up, because unless they got some ideas up their hands or up their sleeves, having a whole bunch of robots take over. I don't know. But somebody's keeping something a secret for some reason. But not from me and not from you if you're watching. Right? Do some research. But it's funny because my kids are sitting there arguing about, well, if you want an education, you're not assured a certain job. It's not even about that. It's about finding your passion, finding your goals, finding what drives you, and following that, not following the money train and whatnot, right? So yes, loans should all be forgiven today. Free college for everyone begins today. So, moving on. But we know also that curiosity and exploration are higher needs than safety, which is to say that the need to feel safe, secure, unanxious, unafraid is prepotent, stronger over curiosity, right? Because, like, if you're not safe, if you're out in the middle of the woods and you're running from a bear, you're not going to stop to read a book. Both in monkeys and in human children, this can be openly observed. The young child in a strange environment will characteristically hang on to its mother and only then venture out little by little from her lap to probe into things, to explore and to probe. If she disappears and becomes frightened, the curiosity disappears until safety is restored. He explores only out of a safe harbor. So also for Harlow's baby monkeys, anything that frightens sends them fleeing back to the mother surrogate, clinging there. He can first observe and then venture out, if she is not there. He may simply curl up into a ball and whimper. Harlow's motion pictures show this very clearly. I don't know what that is. I better look it up. The adult human being is far more subtle and concealed about his anxieties and fears. Right? If they do not overwhelm him altogether, he is very apt to repress them, to deny even to himself that they exist. And this shows up in all kinds of ways, right? Frequently, he does not know that he is afraid. There are many ways of coping with such anxieties, and some of these are cognitive. To such a person, the unfamiliar, the vaguely perceived, the mysterious, the hidden, the unexpected are all apt to be threatening. One way of rendering them familiar, predictable, manageable, controllable, unfrightening, and harmless is to know them and to understand them, right? And to know them, that's why when we go through, like, well, I was going to say the MECA Maslow grid, but we can use the assessment as well to find out if you would like. Just email me. But to know them and really understand why they're there. So meditation helps a lot with that, right? So you can look at what is blocking you. I guess maybe not during meditation even. I think it's a result of meditation where you can see more clearly. Focused attention on the breath. You can meditate in all kinds of ways. Focused attention, being present. And so knowledge may have not only a growing forward function, but also an anxiety reducing function, a protective homeostatic function. Knowledge may have a growing forward function, anxiety reducing function, a protective homeostatic function. So not only is an education important for the sake of following your dreams, passion, goals, and desires, but anxiety reducing, right? Protective balance, right? The overt behavior may be similar, but the motivations may be extremely different. And the subjective consequences are then also very different. On the one hand, we have the sigh of relief and the feeling of lowered tension, let us say of the worried householder exploring a mysterious and frightening noise downstairs in the middle of the night with a gun in his hand when he finds that it is nothing. I don't hear, sorry. I have to move. I'm stuck. I like it hot. I like it. This is quite different from the illumination and exhilaration, even the ecstasy of a young student looking through a microscope who sees the first time the minute structure of the kidney, or who suddenly understands the structure of a symphony or the meaning of an intricate poem or political theory. In the later instances, one feels bigger, smarter, stronger, fuller, more capable, successful, more perceptive. Supposing our sense organs were to become more efficient, our eyes suddenly keener, our ears unstopped. This is how we would feel. This is what can happen in education and in psychotherapy, and does happen often enough. just love my boyfriend. The motivational, sorry, the motivational dialect can be seen on the largest human canvases, the great philosophies, the religious structures, the political and legal systems, the various sciences, even the culture as a whole. To put it very simply, too simply, they can represent simultaneously the outcome of the need to understand and the need for safety in varying proportions. Sometimes the safety needs can almost entirely bend the cognitive needs to their own anxiety ailing purposes. Right? And we see that all over right now. The safety needs bending the cognitive needs, the need for safety. The anxiety-free person can be more bold and more courageous and can explore and theorize for the sake of knowledge itself. Well, they have more time on their hands, that's for sure. Because they're not worrying, right? If you're not living in fear, you're finding out the information maybe that you were fearing, right? It is certainly reasonable to assume that the later is more likely to approach the truth, the real nature of things, to be a private investigator of the truth. A safety philosophy or religion or science is more apt to be blind than a growth philosophy, religion, or science. I quite agree. Safety philosophy, religion, or science, or growth philosophy, religion, or science. I guess for some, there's no choice. It is just the way it is, right? See it. Tomorrow, we will be working with the avoidance of knowledge as avoidance of responsibility. The avoidance of knowledge as avoidance of responsibility. Yes, that makes sense, right? If we do not see, if we do not hear, if we do not do our own investigation, well, then we hold no responsibility. Right? Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So, I'm going to go work now. Just so you all know, some things have gotten smoothed out. So, my approaches are working. For those of you who are rooting for the success of the goddess and MECA and I by me and the conscious queen, obviously. Laurel has herself all tangled around me now. There. Lots of interesting ebbs and flows lately, I would say. Yeah. It's like, how many like tests are there? I wish I knew. That would be so nice. Or to be able to just be like, schedule them out. Oh wait, you can through astrology, I guess, but I mean, like, you never for sure know how the energy is gonna bend, so Might as well just stay in the middle and surf through it, right? Stay balanced. I love you all. Thank you for sharing this special time with me. Oneness. Ciao, ciao for now.